Hey everybody, it's Tripl-L coming in to talk about Osamake, episodes 5, 6, 7, 8 roughly. There's a lot of episodes, so just keep in mind, like I'm not gonna go into detail and everything, but I want you to look at my face. Like really take a, I know it's a small face cam, but just look at my face. This is the face of someone that's really given up hope. I've been subjected to full dive and Osamake with only those Snow White notes in between. And really, thank God for those Snow White notes. Didn't think I would like it. I think like, don't think it's like the strongest thing in the world, but it's significantly better than these two things. Holy crap, moly, man! I'm losing faith in the world. Oh man, Osamake. Jeez, I was just looking at my first review, and I was looking at like intended stupidity 8 out of 10, and like that first review was on the premise that that thing was intentional. But even looking back to it, I think the first 3 episodes are significantly stronger than whatever trash we got for the last 8 episodes, or for, sorry, I guess 5 episodes. But man, actually, like episode 4 is pretty average. 5 is the beginning of trouble, and then this just goes into whatever trash we're going through now. Yeah, no, man. Uh, what a horrid time. Just really horrid. One of the things I do enjoy doing though is looking at the comments for like the various video sharing sites just to see what people are saying about it. Because some people just have like the greatest takes, and it's just funny to see what they're saying. A lot of my joy has come from there, and that's really the only thing that saved me. I just watched all 4 episodes. Sorry, 3 episodes. I watched the 3 episodes back to back, and I was doing something else for them, and it's just they're just so terrible. Actually, no, no. In general, they're terrible because what the first 3 episodes had was the illusion of intentional stupidity. But what you have in the subsequent episodes, the gimmick's gone. They've lost the gimmick, and now they're left with an extremely toxic character in Kuro, and they're trying to play with her, and it's like this is just the worst. I don't want this girl to speak. She's absolutely the worst. So let's get into the proper talk here. Now, mind you, I do have positive things that actually make me feel really good about it, but Kuro is just such a blanket on this thing. So, Kuro, coming into it, listen, this girl, this character, the author has written them to be so egotistical, so prideful, that they would lie about amnesia and losing their sense of taste because they don't have the balls to communicate. And then this idiot has the gall to go up to this guy and yell at him for not believing in her. And no, the problem is you don't get enough people calling it out. You don't get this guy calling it out enough. Everyone just watches this happen, and it's like, no, shut up. This is a terrible person. In real life, you wouldn't suffer this kind of person. Why should I suffer her here? This is an example of the worst kind of people in life. Why do I need to get why do I need to be reminded of the worst kind of people in life when I'm watching something for fun? No, this is an absolutely miserable time. Like honestly, just go away. I appreciate that the author has written something that I could detest so much, so profoundly, but at the same time, the lack of follow through on checking her and putting her in check is ridiculous. Like, if the last 3 episodes are just a continuous stream of, hey, you're a terrible person, go screw yourself, I would actually take back everything I said. Like, hey, you know what? This is so terrible at this point that I would celebrate it. I don't know. I don't know. I would celebrate it. I would call it 10 out of 10 just for that. Even though I'd put the asterisk. Like, it's because it's just so terrible. But yeah, no. Kuro is dragging this down so badly. I'm just looking at someone's like the rating for this thing. What are people saying that they're 134 votes have it at like a 3-star rating? That's fair. But yeah, no man. This just so profoundly disgusting. One character is ruining the show for everyone else. And it's ultimately not only does she not want this guy to be in the show business, which already is a really naive thought. I know in like one of the earlier episodes they were saying like, it's either your school life or your work, and it's like, no, not necessarily. There's child labor laws. It doesn't have to go down that way. Not really. You can balance. It's all about work life balance. You can possibly pull it off. But sure, that's the paradigm that the series wants to talk about. Sure. But it's just like Kuro by herself is such a chore. What a terrible person. Just talk to the guy. Like when she, it's just when she complains, do you care? No, because she's complaining about being so egotistical she can't admit she's wrong. Like what else can you do? Like what a terrible person, man. Like again, I know a lot of bosses are like her. They can't admit that they're wrong, and they just cause all these weird problems. They come up with all these weird lies. And it's just when you know this personality trait is in real life, no one suffers fools like this, man. The only people that would suffer fools like this are submissive people. So that's how you end up with a lot of spineless employees beneath a crazy boss unable to do anything about it. If you work in any spot that you have to be in a big team, you probably know what I'm talking about. But yeah, and ironically, Suehara, when he gets down on his knees, like that's really his position. That's really where he belongs. He does belong under the foot of these girls or whatever. As he puts himself, like I'm not saying it, he does it himself. He bends the knee before them. But yeah, no, man. Kuro's just the absolute worst. Like holy crap, moly, man. Holy. Okay. I'm sure that the majority opinion is gonna be Kuro sucks. And she really brings down the entire anime. But what about the good points? Well, Shiro. Before talking about Shiro, in general, the anime is running off of a gimmick that's about manipulation. There's a lot of manipulation going on in the show, such that really the main character doesn't really have all that much agency. The main character at this point is just a source of energy for everyone else to manipulate to their own whims. That's all he is. He's a tool. He's just a really happy-go-lucky, energetic tool. In other words, when you have a character being so easily manipulated, it's just pretty much like you don't have any agency to yourself. The world is acting on you. You're not acting on the world. So, they're just taking advantage of you. Like Tatsuhiko is very smart for being able to take advantage of you in the most correct ways. Now, in that sense, going into the manipulations, Shiro is by far the least toxic of the two. But really, right now, Osamake is being carried by either characters that haven't been around to do anything significantly toxic, or it's being carried just by really good side characters. And the big one really is Tatsuhiko or Tetsuhiko. Apologies if I get it wrong. Let's just call him Hiko. Thankfully for him, yeah, he's a manipulator, but at least I understand what he's doing. And then the anime has just gone to great lengths to show what this character is about. Find out he's a bastard child, find out he's taking care of his half sister. Like in one scene where he's talking about making summer memories and bringing his sister along and she doesn't know about it. It's like this guy's a big brother who's pretty much checking off his list. He's got a shit list and his bucket list and he's going through it. When you have this guy acting in the background, it's like, wow, you're cool. You're a really cool guy. And then of course his sister, who has done no wrong, and she is used for fan service. We do see quite a few fan servicey shots for her, but she's done no wrong. And when you see her having fun, that's a legitimately really nice spot. And I guess I should talk about the third girl that shows up in episode 4. You know, she says it the best herself. She's not even a romantic interest. She said that I think in episode 8. She's just talking about how like she's not really in the guy's periphery. So yeah, no, she's very right about that. She is very underwhelming, and episode 8 is about her trying to mess stuff up. No, really, at the end of the day, I'm looking at this anime, and what are the good spots here? Well, it's the side characters who are still reasonable. Tatsuhiko is manipulating the entire thing, and that is worthwhile. But otherwise, Shiro is the cutest one. She's innocent. She's not as big of a dick as Kuro there. And I'm very thankful for that. Episode 8 was very strong for her. When I saw them on the bench, I just thought, like, oh god, this is not going to end well for them. But I legitimately feel bad for her. She's in such a spot of vulnerability all the time that isn't necessarily her fault all the time. People are actively conspiring against her. And so, it's a completely different energy. You have Kuro, who is shooting herself in the foot with every word she says. And then you have Shiro, who is getting into the manipulation, but also being screwed over by the people around her and being sabotaged. Yeah, no, you can tell one person is designed to be more sympathetic than the other. I hope. But like at the same time, Kuro just keeps shoving her big head everywhere. Oh my god, man, I hate her so much. I will say, Tatsuhiko is like one of the better aspects here, and the anime spends a lot of time talking about the relationship between him and the main character, Tsueharu. But Honestly, the way it's executed, I think it's a little bit clumsy, just with the clumsiness of the flashbacks, clumsiness of how he's talking to Shiro's dad and all that. Overall, it's just very clumsy. And the pacing for the commercial episode, they made two commercials and got twice the votes, and it's like, that's it. You know, that episode was very underwhelming. The execution was terrible. Overall, Osamake, man, like you gotta be a real lover of rom-coms. You gotta really look over a lot of things here. You gotta be someone who gets really involved. But Osamake's weaknesses are so there's so many, and when you're in a position where you're looking at the side characters for a glimmer of hope, like it's not a good spot to be in. I wonder, what is the criteria for success for this series? Well, the criteria for success would be to get a second season. Do I think it deserves a second season? No, 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 not at all. I mean, if the writer gets to have a second season, then good for them, because I, if you were able to find success, all it really means is that you found an audience and you were able to market towards that audience, you were able to write for that audience, and that's always respectable. If this thing actually has an audience somewhere out there, excellent. But if this thing never got a season two, I would be extremely happy. My happiness would know no bounds. Just because it gives me hope that people actually still care about some level of quality when it comes to their rom-com harem shenanigans. So what are the positive points? Let's give it some positives, just to make sure we got it. It's the side characters. The side characters, you could say a positive is that it's able to get emotional reactions out of people. You could also say a positive is like the small amount of self awareness that it still has, and you could say a positive is still the way it portrays Shiro. But otherwise, Kuro takes so much and she's so unaware and no one's calling her out enough that she's like a black hole where all the enjoyment just kind of goes down. And like there's a shot at the end of episode 8 where Kuro is just looking at the main character angry like, and it's like, we knew you were coming to this place at the end of the weekend. We knew that they were going to be hanging out. You're mad at him because he's sleeping. Like, maybe there's some little detail about a party that was missed or something like that, but it just looks so stupid. I'm so done with this girl, man. Yeah, Osamake. Do I think it's gonna get better? No, no. This is an example of a series that blew through its gimmick in the first volume and then had to come up with a new gimmick to support it. And now you're in a situation where this guy had a first love. He screwed over the first love to declare his love for his childhood friend, and then you have a situation where the childhood friend says no, and now you're in a situation where he's not sure who he loves anymore, and it's like, come on. Meanwhile, you're having him have really charged moments with a girl, with Shiro, and you're not letting him act on it because of some words that got into his head. Yeah, no, man, like it's just such a chore. This is harem at its worst. Whew. That felt good to talk about. Guys, let me know what you thought down below. Let me know if you're still sticking with it, what you're looking at. I want to know what positive things you're looking at. And yeah, until next time, I hope you have an absolutely great day.